Hello everyone, I'm Peter, and with me is the Fanfiction Fanatic.
It's me. It's Brodie.
It's Brodie.
Brodie, it's always me.
Yeah, and we also have a guest with us today.
He's very quiet, but
He's
it's okay.
very quiet, but it's okay.
Yeah, and I waved to him.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, it's okay. I wave to the mic all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, hello everybody, you can't see me, but I'm still here.
Right.
Well, today I'm going to be reading another fanfiction. One that both Brodie and I really like. It's probably one of my most favorite
And Will
ones.
has never read before.
Will's never read this.
No.
That's fine.
He's watched the first and second movie, nothing else, and he doesn't.
Wait, what is this?
Oh,
What is
God.
fanfiction about?
This fanfiction is about
What
how
franchise is this for?
Oh, it's about How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh boy,
Oh,
a channel
boy.
favorite.
Channel favorite. We're talking about the fanfiction Persephone.
Is it Persephone?
No, Persephone.
Persephone.
It's named after the.
Yeah, but there's like, if every Greek god name has like 7 different pronunciations.
True.
Because no one
but
actually knows how to say it. Not even the Greeks.
I'm gonna go with Persephone though, because that's the one I heard.
It's because the one you said and saw in Percy Jackson.
Yes, that's the one I saw in the Percy Jackson movie.
Will you
and
ever
so
see
I'm
Percy
saying it.
Jackson?
The Lightning Thief?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only one. Is that the first one?
You mean the terrible movie?
Yeah, definitely.
That movie's awful.
That's
It's nothing like the book.
alright. Oh, really?
Nothing like
Okay.
it. Like nothing.
I'll take your word on it.
But this fanfiction is by Sunflowerb.
It's good. We like this
It
one.
is very good. It was written in 2014, and has over 4,000 favorites, 43 chapters, and 5,000 followers.
It's also finished,
It's also finished.
which is a good bonus for
It is
fan.
a Hickstrid fanfiction, Hiccup and Astrid.
We talked about this one on the episode.
We did. But just to recap.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Host.
Oh, nah.
I'm sorry.
Alright. She was meant to be the price for peace. Her life in exchange for the Dragon Master's mercy. Her captor wasn't supposed to be a ghost from her past, and she wasn't supposed to become his ally, or his lover. And when news spread of a blonde-haired girl at the Dragon Master's side,
Oh my god.
there would be repercussions for dragons and Vikings alike. AU Hickstrid multi-chapter.
So you folks at home didn't see this, but Will just put his face to his hand in shock when he heard the term lovers. He really doesn't like it. Why don't you like it, Will? Is it because they're children?
Yeah.
No, they're as old as you in the second movie.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
they're 20.
They're 20
Oh, okay.
in the second movie.
It doesn't take place during the second movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
wait,
So-
how old are they in this?
They are 20.
They are 20.
Because
That's
where
right,
where
that's good.
this fanfiction takes place is 4 years after the events of dragon training.
Well, I remember this. It's like, remember how in the first movie he was gonna leave and then Astrid showed up?
Mm.
Well, I think it's an alternate universe where he actually does just leave.
No.
Oh.
Actually, what happens in this one is that happens.
Yeah.
Astrid shows up and sees Toothless, but instead of her running back to the village, she gets knocked unconscious trying to fight the Night Fury because she thinks.
So, yeah, so he does just
Yeah, and so he makes up evidence to make it look like he died or been carried away by Toothless.
I don't think he purposely did that.
No, he did. It says he
Okay.
talks about it.
Way to end the war between dragons and people, Hiccup.
He was running away, basically. He was
Coward Hiccup.
and because Astrid faints, well, gets knocked out, and runs back to the village, Stoic blames her for Hiccup's death.
Can we talk about that in the first chapter? Because that's the plot point in the first chapter. isn't it?
Yeah, that is the first
So let's
chapter.
actually start this.
Yeah.
It's chapter 1. What's the chapter of this one, Tom?
Yeah.
Don't they have titles?
They do have tiles, but I didn't write them down because I forgot.
Gosh dang it, Peter.
Da.
Useless.
I'm useless. Yeah, but yeah, Astrid in this very start of this fanfiction is used as a virgin sacrifice
Oh.
to stop the dragon raids
Right.
and appease the Dragon Master, a mysterious figure.
I'm glad Will's here.
A mysterious figure that showed up 2 years ago, riding on a Night Fury clad in black armor.
I'm imagining
Right,
him in the
yeah.
second movie.
Mm.
With his like helmet.
Yeah, imagine him look like that. Ruffnut is married to Snotlout,
The Rough Knight is the female twin. And
Oh,
That's the
right,
short guy.
yeah,
the
yeah,
short
yeah.
black-haired guy.
Oh, there.
He's married. She's married.
Not
to
in the movies.
Yeah,
This
not
is a
in the
fan
movies.
thing.
Yeah.
She's married to him, and she has a kid coming on the way. She's pregnant.
She doesn't know if it's his. I
Doesn't
remember
know it's his because there was a sale one time in the summer.
that. Oh!
Also, apparently, she slept around a lot of people by the time she hit 17 in this story.
It's weird.
Jesus.
It's...
Mm-hmm.
This is the world
Uh,
that you're being led into.
Yeah,
the fanfiction
yeah.
world.
Alright.
But it's good, I promise.
Yeah, it has a
It's-
story.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's very... It's dark.
It's not How to Train Your Dragon story.
No, hell no.
Right.
It's good though.
To lay this down first, this fanfiction is very lewd and very dark.
It's M-rated for a reason.
Is
Right.
very, very
It's an
dark.
American M rating too.
American
So that means sex stuff.
sex stuff, yeah.
Alright.
The sexicles happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is very dark and can be uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Yeah, there's some dark themes in this.
It can be uncomfortable for some people, and that's understandable.
So if you're really squeamish about sort of sex stuff, and very certain sex stuff, don't read this.
Don't read it.
But it's good, I promise.
It is good. The only reason Hiccup takes the virgin sacrifice, Astrid,
Yeah.
is because Snotlout's dad,
Spotlight.
after Spitlout,
Voiced by David Tennant
he's voiced by
Right.
David Tennant in both the show
and the movie.
and the movie.
Even though he doesn't say anything.
He
in the
doesn't
movie.
say in the movie.
Good.
After Hiccup refuses her first, he tries to slit her throat.
He's like, you don't want her, then we don't want her either.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
throws out a knife.
so he does take her after that.
Because,
Yeah.
fuck, I can't let her just get fucking murdered.
She's knocked out and taken back to somewhere, a mountaintop.
Probably like
Surround.
a cave and
Yeah.
like a mountain.
I think they talk about it. It's like sheer cliff walls around the sea. And she finds out Hiccup. It's Hiccup.
It's old Hick.
Yeah. And she faints.
She faints again.
She faints again.
Ash's just spent half the story asleep by this point.
Yes. In the first chapter,
A
she
trend that doesn't really end now that I think about it.
No. Well, it ends later. Like 8 chapters in. Chapter 2. She wakes up
Yeah.
and super confused about what's happening, because
And then Hiccup gets his lore dumped down.
yeah, then there's a big lore dump of I flew away. I didn't want to fight the monstrous nightmare.
Right.
I couldn't kill a dragon. That's why
I wouldn't kill a
I
dragon.
wouldn't kill a dragon. He refuses to take Astrid back to Burke because of the village offering her as a virgin sacrifice, and basically,
Also, she knows who he is now.
yeah, and she also knows who he is,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want them knowing that.
So it's a
Yeah.
big loss for him and a loss for her if he decides to.
Yeah, so yeah, he's not going to return her until she can be trusted. He at one point he admits he had crushes on her in this chapter.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's pretty
That
obvious.
happens. Yeah. And then he gets super and then he gets super edgy about how his dad never loved him.
Uh-huh.
And that the only reason he was proud of him was because of dragon training, which he was lying through. He was faking through.
Yeah.
There's all the big tricks.
All big tricks. Chapter 3, because
Oh,
that's
boy.
all that really happens in chapter 2.
Yeah.
Another day passes.
Oh, boy.
And Astrid thinks to herself, I need to find a weapon.
Mm.
And she remembers Hiccup had a knife on him.
Mm.
So she goes to where he's sleeping with Toothless, tries to steal it, but can't because dragon.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
So she does the second.
Can you guess what's gonna happen?
She does the second
Oh.
best thing after hearing he had a thing for her, and which is to go max lewd. She
Hey, man, you
tries.
gotta use all your weapons.
She tries to turn the charm on. She does seduce him, and Toothless does leave. But after threatening him with a knife, he reasons to her that he can't take her. Oh hell, he can't take her home because obviously his secret, and that she can't get off the island without him because she can't fly toothless because that fake the tail fin.
Yeah.
So she would just either starve or get eaten by get killed by Toothless if she kills him.
Get eaten by Toothless. I don't think
I was gonna
Toothless eats
say,
people.
yeah, eatless, Toothless. Yeah, and then something really dark happens.
Oh no, I remember this part.
Shit.
Really dark, which is super uncomfortable when you first read about it.
Alright.
He threatens her with rape if she steps out of line.
Oh, what the fuck?
I don't think he was gonna do it.
He wasn't gonna do it, but
That's a terrible threat.
Oh.
it's a terrible threat though.
Hiccup has now turned full anti-hero.
Oh yeah, in this story, Hiccup is very mentally fucked up.
Yeah.
He's also an alcoholic.
To be fair, he spent the last 5 years on his own with no one to talk to but a dragon.
Yeah.
So he's probably not the best in the head at the moment.
Yeah. Chapter 4. Since they're all cohabitating together, Hiccup basically spends his chapter showing Astrid around.
Like, this is my forge. This is my garden.
This is my bath.
This is my birth control flower.
Yeah, this is my that's something that happens later in the chapters.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
that's
talk about
happens
that
later.
later.
Alright.
That's what we told you the story was lewd as shit.
Yeah.
It's very lewd.
I just skipped past those parts. I don't like it. It's like,
They spend this chapter also arguing about how dragons aren't and are evil. They kill people and they steal our steal our cattle and
and
sheep.
then they go like, we kill thousands of them.
And we,
Also, Queen Bitch.
Queen bitch, yes, which they don't know about except Hiccup does.
Giant dragon at the end of the first movie. Queen Bitch.
Right.
In this
Remember
universe,
that?
Yeah.
The one who was
in
controlling
this
them all.
universe, since
Yeah.
Hiccup ran away, since all that happened,
Right.
the Queen's still alive. She's been alive for
5 years.
yeah.
So raid's still happening.
Raid's still happening.
Things are terrible.
Yeah, things are still awful, and that's why it's the virgin sacrifice. What's that? Then it ends. The chapter ends with Hiccup and Toothless basically just flying off to another raid
Because the raid's happening.
because a raid's happening at the
You didn't,
Bob
you
Burger.
don't explain what he's actually doing at the raids.
No, I didn't. He's trying to minimize damage. He's
On
trying.
both sides.
He,
It's like,
he flies to the raids,
I'm going to play mediator
Yeah.
to try and make sure that
Yeah.
both sides survive.
but
Yeah.
since he's always at every single raid, all the tribes, all the different clans.
Basically, in my mind, he's just trying to trick himself into thinking he's actually doing something to help, which he really isn't.
No.
He's like, oh, I'm going to go out. And it's like, yeah, this is the best thing I could do. It's like, no, it's not. You could do better than this.
But yeah, he
And you know you can, because in the first movie, he solved the problem almost immediately after trying.
that is true.
Yeah.
Chapter 5. Astrid basically questions what she thinks about Hiccup because he's so different from what he was 4 or 5 years ago, and that the rapey thing.
Well,
The
I'm
rape.
imagining I'm also that, but I'm imagining also going from 15-year-old Hiccup to How to Train Your Dragon 2 Hiccup, and going like, oh my god, he grew 2 heads taller and now he's buff.
And hot. Yeah, she constantly reminds herself that she's hot. He's hot.
Hey, he is. Look, when he takes that helmet off for the first time, I was like,
Whoa, Hiccup, you grew.
holy shit, my kid's all grown up. He looks great.
In this universe, they've brought in an island and 2 characters from the book.
You don't really do anything.
They don't really do anything, but they're always mentioned in this fanfiction.
Look, they're in the book. We talked about this briefly before, how there was a character named Kamikaze.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the raid that Hiccup ended up going to was the Bog Burglar clan's island, I guess.
Backstory,
Yeah.
it's just an island filled with women. Really
Right.
buff women.
Really,
Really buff.
like Amazonian.
Amazonian
Yeah.
Vikings. That's someone's fetish.
And the clan leader is
Okay.
a girl called Kamikaze.
No, she's the heir to the clan.
thought she was.
Oh, I know. In this story,
No,
she might
is.
be the
she,
leader.
She is, because I think her mother passed off to her.
Oh,
And her mother,
You remember this character too, Big Booby Bertha.
Big Boobied
Oh.
Bertha. That is the
Amazing.
name of her mother. So
It's a strong name.
during this
Jeez.
raid, Hiccup steals clothes off her clothing line for Astrid because
She can't keep wearing the same white virgin sacrifice dress.
Oh yes, I didn't mention that. They dressed her up in a white virgin sacrifice dress.
It was
with
like a wedding dress.
with like a gold crown.
Right.
Hold on.
Look, sacrifice worthless if you don't make it look pretty.
Yeah.
It didn't.
I mean, if you were a dark god riding a dragon, would you prefer the girl dressed in Viking uniform or the wedding dress one?
Definitely.
If you were because everybody thought this guy was like a demon or like.
They thought it was like part dragon.
Yeah, they thought he was controlling all the dragons.
Because they don't know who he is.
No.
He's just the guy who rides a dragon.
He showed up. He's shown up at every single raid. They don't know who the hell he
He's
is.
just a monster in their eyes.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him because Night Furies is scary.
It's then the chapter switches to Stoic and Gobber discussing that, like he's stealing clothes.
Yeah.
Also,
they go like, well, the sacrifice didn't work, the raids are still going.
Gobber then scolds and berates Stoic for sacrificing her, basically because of his own grudge.
Because no matter what fanfiction you're in, Gobber can never be a bad guy.
No, Gobber's all.
He's always the voice of reason.
He's always the voice of reason.
Gobber's the blacksmith.
Oh,
With the one
yeah,
hand?
yeah, yeah.
With the one hand and the one leg.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And he blames the reason why he chose Astra is because of of
Personal bias.
personal bias because of what happened to Hiccup, or what they believe happened to Hiccup
Yeah.
5 years ago. And then in that chapter, Astra admits to herself that she liked Hiccup as a kid, and that was the end of it.
I don't know where fanfiction writers get this from, that Astrid liked Hiccup as a kid.
I guess it's
Because
a
there's
kiss.
nothing really in the movie hinting towards that.
No, but I'm just.
She kind of seems to hate everybody, and the show expands upon
The only
it.
thing I can think of is that the kiss after they go on that first flight, but I don't know.
Yeah, but that didn't happen in this.
That's true. That's true.
If it happened in this, then that means she wouldn't be freaking out at the sight of a guy on a dragon.
Fair point.
She might even also be not that scared about being a virgin sacrifice if she knew it was just little old Hiccup.
True.
Yeah.
Chapter 6. Hiccup works a forge without a shirt. Astrid stares at him.
That's that chapter.
That's basically the like half the chapter.
That's half the chapter.
That's more than half the chapter. That's the entire chapter.
That's the entire chapter?
She's with him in the forge.
I forgot.
Right. And he's working there with an apron, like a leather apron, but no shirt.
Right.
And basically it's them seeing that he's forging or doing whatever,
Yeah.
and they're discussing what's happening with the old dragon training group,
Yeah.
which then she goes to say that Fishlegs and Snotlat were trying to gain Roughnut's favour.
That happened in the second movie too, remember? How they're all constantly arguing over her? Fishleg's the
oh,
big guy,
yeah.
Snarlat little guy.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. This is a. Yeah. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Roughnut went on a bang spree before getting pregnant with Snotlout.
Mm-hmm.
Astrid mentioned she has a little sister called Brenna, which was born.
Which is cute. I like that.
Yeah, she was born 3 years ago in this universe, so after Hiccup was gone.
Yeah.
See, that's something I complain about the actual show and movie itself. Where are the characters' families? Because you see Stoic all the time in the show, and you
I'd like to see family
Snotlout's dad too a lot because he's voiced by David Tennant, so
Even-
they give him a bigger role in the show.
Even that one episode where Astrid's house burns down.
Her house burns down, and then
And-
she just comes worried about her family,
Yeah.
and she comes back on screen and says, "Oh, they're fine.
Yeah, like disappears, comes back. They're good.
They're good. Like, you're not going to see them. We're
You're
not
never
going to
gonna see
bother
them."
making a design for them."
Yeah.
Even though in the
Which is
storyboards,
unfortunate.
her father did have a design. He's just the big buff blonde-haired Viking.
I would love to see that though. I still want to see it.
I'll show you after.
Okay. She mentions she has a bad dream song. She sings to her every night. Every night she has bad.
To be fair, she was like, what, if you get
She's
use basic maths, she was 17 years older than her sister?
Yeah.
That's basically mum territory
Yeah.
almost.
In this story, Astrid, after this events of Hiccup,
Mm.
she kind of like hermits herself inside and doesn't really talk to people. which is where she
Because
gets.
she's been living with the guilt that I failed to save the
Oh
chief's
yeah,
son,
I murdered. Yeah,
and now he hates me.
Yeah, now he hates me and blames me. Then Hiccup apologizes with how things started out, and says he doesn't want to keep her here, but he can't risk exposing it. Like, so, and they decide to get along. Basically, they decide like, let's chill.
Yeah.
No more bullshit. Let's
Yeah.
just try
Let's
to
stop
be
yelling.
friends.
Let's stop yelling at each other.
No one likes this.
No. Basically that.
Like an odd... that's like a plot of a romance comedy. Like, minus the rape part, which probably I could have done without.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
maybe it's like, I could just drop you in the ocean. I would have liked that better.
I would have liked that a lot better. It was
No, let's just pretend,
'cause
because it's fanfiction,
'cause-
it's not canon anyway. You can just pretend that he didn't threaten to rape her.
Because the most uncomfortable thing about that rape thing is it always bothers her afterwards, and it's always kind of subtle.
It bothers him too.
It bothers him too. I'll get to it, but I actually know. Is this... No.
Like, I feel like the writer even acknowledges in the story, he's like, yeah, maybe I went a
Actually,
bit
no.
too far with that
That's
point.
the next one, yeah.
That's the next one?
Chapter 7, yeah. At the start of it, Toothless tries to get Astrid to eat a bathed up half of a fish.
Like in the first movie, remember?
You know, when...
It's a sign of trust, I
Yeah.
assume,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
dragons.
And so, she finally starts warming up to Toothless. And,
Well, he wouldn't, he's a cutie.
yeah. Astrid notices that Hiccup is a raging alcoholic
That's
who
true.
nearly always has a flask with him.
Right.
Like in every single room. He then that night he wakes up to a fucked up dream of him raping Astrid.
Yeah.
Like he's screaming when he wakes
That's a
up.
bad dream.
It's a real bad dream. And she checks on him because she's hearing the scream.
Yeah.
And
Fun
kind of...
fact, you can't wake up screaming. So every time you see that in a movie, not real.
Not real.
Can't wake up screaming.
Fuck. Alright.
She learns that he has kind of some deep-seated issue with his dad through talking after the
I
dream.
think everyone
Right,
could
yeah.
see that.
Everyone can see that, definitely, but this is when he first starts talking about it in this. Hiccup asks Astrid if she's scared of him, and she says yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
went a bit too far.
Yeah, which is... And then...
I feel like this is the offer backpulling. He's like, yeah, I went a bit too
This
far.
is when he starts apologizing and like saying he didn't want to do it. It was fucked up with him.
Yeah.
And she asks him to if she can go back. He says no. You know, that usual back and forth of that happening.
It's
in
like,
this
can I
story.
go home now? It's like,
No. She says fine, but I need some stuff from home because it's getting close to her time of the month. So that happens. Yep. Chapter 8. Hiccup sneaks into Astrid's house to get her things and runs into her little sister in the middle of the night. He manages to convince her he's a friend though by mentioning the bad dream song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she ends up getting all
Now, I don't know about you, but throughout this entire scene, I was imagining that scene in Space Jam, where where Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck go to Michael Jordan's house,
Yes.
and these
Yeah.
kids are there and they help him out.
Yeah.
That's what I was imagining, but I know that's not what it was.
So the vast majority of this chapter is basically Hiccup talking to Brenna, Astrid's sister, and Brenna getting stuff for her, including her angry tummy box.
So
Is
dumb.
it's what she calls her stuff, and she calls boobs boops
Cute.
because she's 3 years old.
She's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. While he's gone, Astrid indulges in some
No, I don't want to talk about this.
lewd stuff.
Okay, so I forgot about this because I always skipped it when I read it.
I kind of had to because for the thing.
Because,
Yeah.
She indulges in some lewd stuff.
Mm.
And ends up
this video is
ending...
not going to be monetized.
Not at all.
But then again, none of the videos are monetized.
Exactly. And ends up at the fantasizing about Hiccup, which freaks her out. Because she's like, what the fuck? It's like, what's it called? What's that syndrome where it's, if you're...
Stockholm.
Stockholm.
Right.
It's almost like Stockholm.
Where you slowly start to learn to love your captor.
Yeah. That's not
it's fucked.
inaccurate to this story, but also not accurate. I feel.
Well, eventually he lets her go.
Yeah, he lets her go eventually.
Then again, Stockholm Syndrome will come back even if they do get let go.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Is this the deeper meaning of this story?
Maybe.
It's all just the Stockholm Syndrome.
It's real dark anyway. It's
Nah, I don't think the writer intended it to be like that.
probably not. Chapter 9. Hiccup brings Astrid a peace offering of like different clothes, and even a knife. Actually, gives her
Oh, you can have this now.
a jeweled knife, and basically tells her that he doesn't want her to feel unsafe, and that if anything happens, she can defend herself. Like, he doesn't want to do anything to her, but his word only goes
now
so far.
he's paranoid because he made the threat.
Oh.
His words can only go so far, so he's like, here's something to stab me with if I do something.
I'm okay with you stabbing me.
I'm okay with you stabbing me.
Just to let you know, here's the knife. Don't be scared to stab me.
Yeah. And then they start to get along after more anyway. She still fantasizes about them. She meets Stormfly in this chapter.
Her dragon.
Her dragon.
That's the Deadly Nada?
Right.
The blue one.
The blue one
Okay.
with the spikes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The one that shoots out fucking spikes.
Yeah. Everywhere.
When she first sees Stormfly, she freaks out because dragon.
It just shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah, she turns a corner. It's there in a room.
Okay.
So she freaks out. And... Oh, sorry. Got there. And Hiccup manages to persuade her to try and get along with the dragon, which she does. She takes the Stormfly really quickly, but then Stormfly has to leave because it's her mating season.
So
To fly off
Right.
he
somewhere.
doesn't know this because he never watched one of the special side movies.
No.
But they're apparently in the How to Train Your Dragon universe. During around Christmas time in their universe, which is called Snoggletooth for some reason. I don't know
Snoggle.
why.
It's a Snoggle.
Snoggle Toggle Snoggletooth.
Snoggle I think.
Yeah.
All the dragons fly off for their mating season, and they all go to a certain island in the world, and then they have their eggs there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that's a piece of lore
Yeah.
for those interested.
So, chapter 10. Astrid asks Hiccup to take her home again.
What is this? The fifth time?
It's more than that. I'm just mentioning the times that are like come with a
Maybe she
conversation.
doesn't really have Stockholm Syndrome, and she just wants to constantly go home.
True.
Then again, I don't know about Stockholm Syndrome.
True. We don't know enough about Stockholm Syndrome to
I don't think the author knows enough about Stockholm
That's
Syndrome.
true. Actually, in one of the little author's notes in...
Oh,
Like,
I wish you made more notes of this, because I didn't read them.
I was going to say, because I read all these notes, because they were interesting and they were actually just...
Because they do provide insight to the
They
author's
do,
work.
they do. For instance, when she first wrote this, the author, she had no experience with anything sexual, anything at all, until the last couple of chapters.
That makes sense.
She had no prior background until she met her boyfriend near the end of these.
How old is she?
Right.
I don't know.
So it was a woman who wrote.
It was a woman. She confirms. What else?
How old is she, dude?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm imagining
Mid 20s.
17 to 20. Like around our
Yeah.
age.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Astrid asks Hiccup to take her home, and he says, "I will if they ask for you," but they haven't, even though they've been they've been going to every raid, and they've never said anything, which hurts her because she thought they would ask for her at least.
Even just like a guttural, give her back!
Yeah. Hiccup asks her what she would do if she went back, and she says she'd probably go back to dragon fighting, which upsets Hiccup because obviously
Yeah.
certain dragons. And she points out that she's only seen 2 peaceful dragons. That doesn't mean all of them are. And he goes, "You're right," and starts to show her by taking her to the mating grounds,
Yep.
like an island where they were mating and stuff.
Yeah.
Now I remember this being pretty accurate to the show, to the side movie as well.
Yeah. They fly there, and there's dragons of all different types. There's gronkles, there's nadders, there's every dragon you could imagine in the movies.
All the ones you saw in the first one.
Everyone's you saw in the first
Yeah,
one are on this island, you know, with their offspring.
Not all
Yeah.
of them.
Not
'cause
all
There's
of
like
them.
close to 100 different ones. You can't mention.
But the
all.
ones like mate on land, I guess.
Yeah.
What else? She sees Sunflower again here. She sees Sunflower again here with her little babies. She has a bunch of little babies, which then
Adorable.
yeah.
Mm.
Then Astrid falls asleep with the babies on her lap and then dreams about kissing Hiccup.
Weird.
That happens.
Yeah.
Like you kind of just have to read it to understand.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's one of those read it and you'll get it.
Like part of the reason why I enjoy the story is like the concept of Hiccup just being a guy that flies around on a dragon and nobody knows he is. It's kind of cool to me in like a very edgy way.
He's very edgy throughout this entire thing. He's very self-depreciating and very self-conscious. He
Right.
he
And
has
he
a lot,
continues to look the coolest he's probably ever looked.
but also have daddy issues and mummy issues. Because
Yeah, we'll get to that.
we haven't gone to
We'll
that.
get to
though.
that.
Yeah.
And the second part of the story I love so much is laughing at the absurdity of how
Oh, it's
downright. Well, you've heard it all. You've
Yeah.
heard all the sexual bullshit that happens.
Yeah.
Just laughing about
gets
how
ru-
often it happens.
It happens super often. Of Hiccup staring at Astrid, Astrid staring at Hiccup.
Alright.
I just lose my shit every time. It's like, oh, this is what the author
When-
thinks love is. Which
Yeah.
actually makes sense now when you
Yeah.
tell me about the author's note.
Yeah.
Oh.
After waking up and flying off, they fly over Burke, and Hiccup admits to the reason why he doesn't want people knowing he's the Dragon Master is because of his dad, because he was so proud of
Yeah.
him being, you know, this dragon fighter, basically, and he doesn't want to tarnish that memory of him for him.
Right.
He doesn't want to see.
He'd
how
rather he be a dead son in his father's eyes than a live and disappointing one.
Yeah, he'd rather that than him be disappointed in him. And she at this point on Drake, she promises she isn't going to tell. Then they land in that clearing where Toothless was originally in that first movie, that big
Yeah.
area,
Ditch.
Oh,
the
yeah,
ditch,
yeah.
and he tells her she's free to go.
Yeah.
She decides she doesn't want to go back. And the reason is because of the virgin sacrifice thing.
Mm.
So he says, you can stay with me, or I can take you to a port somewhere, and you can find a ship somewhere.
Also, her just walking out of the woods out of no context might not go down so well.
Raise a lot of alarms.
I mean, one of them already tried to kill her.
Yeah, one of them already tried to murder her. He won't take the virgin sacrifice!
This fucking cut her throat. Oh, so violent.
So violent.
They're probably pretty accurate for the story.
Yeah. He offers to have us continue staying with him or port, and tells her probably just sleep on it. So they fly back, and she does that thing in the first movie where she punches him and
Yeah.
says that's for X,
Yeah.
and then kisses him.
Yeah.
She does that and then runs away.
That's for everything else.
And that's for everything else.
Alright.
What?
Oh, wait, is this language variant?
What? No.
Who fucking
No.
cares? We said
No.
right.
Alright.
See,
True,
Okay.
true. Okay, cool.
No one's gonna watch this anyway.
Alright.
These views
Pass-
always get the less views.
I'm gonna past chapter 10. I haven't written notes, but I have it up.
Oh, he just has it up.
I have it
Right.
up. So chapter 11.
It's terrible.
After the events of the kiss and stuff,
We had 3 weeks to write this.
I did. But I didn't.
Do you see how unprofessional this man is?
It's very professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. After she wakes up, she finds, she's like, oh shit, that was maybe a mistake. So, when he asks what that kiss is about, she says nothing. Which upsets him.
Yeah.
And they get into a big argument, They get into an argument over
Oh, is this
it.
that chapter?
Hmm?
Is this my favourite chapter?
It is.
Where I lose my shit.
It is.
I lose my shit every time.
Okay.
So
I have to remember it all now. Oh.
So
I'm sorry, Will.
No.
it's
Yeah,
Will's completely new to all of
All of
this.
this,
Fan
yeah,
fictions,
I'm
everything,
I'm
and he just.
Will, have you ever
Yeah.
read a fanfiction before while Peter reads through this?
Wait, what?
Have you ever read a fanfiction before?
No, not really.
You ever considered reading one?
Nope. But
We bring the
listening
best
to one,
guests.
so, yeah.
But, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Oh, I'm just the crudity.
Please
but-
don't think less of
Oh
me.
no.
Please.
No.
Peter, do your job!
I'm trying to. You guys are talking. After the kiss and that morning after they say nothing happened, like
Uh-huh.
nothing.
Yeah.
They kiss some more because Hiccup's like, that's a lie. You want something to happen there, and then she still denies it, and he gets upset. 3 days pass of him not talking to her.
Healthy
he-
relationship.
Where he finds a port in a town. I don't remember the town's name, but in a town where Snorkeltog is happening because it's Snorkeltog.
It's Christmas time.
It's
Right,
near
yeah.
Christmas time. And they end up going to this crowded inn, like a bar,
Right.
to meet someone for ship for Astrid.
Yep.
And that's when they run into another character that's not on the books, but she's in the show. Or
No, you forget that Astrid runs into someone too. But are you going to mention
Oh yes, Astrid also runs into someone from the movies.
that? You know this guy, it's Eric.
Eret,
Son of Eret.
Eret.
Oh, him, bro.
So
Yep.
so they
Still
run.
Dragon Trapper, still a
Still
bad guy.
Dragon
okay.
Trapper.
He's a charismatic bad guy. He's not really a bad guy.
Yeah. Oh god.
Kit Harington.
Yeah. Kit Harington. Yeah.
Jon
Kit.
Snow.
Yeah, he is. Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, I forgot that. I can always forget that.
You watch Game
Yeah.
of Thrones? Will?
3 episodes.
That's fine. It's hard to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in those first
A
few
lot,
episodes.
Yeah.
I've only watched like the first 6 episodes, and then that's really it.
Well, you know what happens.
I know what
because
happens.
we have friends that don't shut up.
I've also read all the first book, so I know.
Okay.
They run into a character from the show, Heather, a black-haired teen, the same age. Well, not teen.
She's not a teenager in this.
No anymore.
She's 22.
Yeah,
Presumably.
same, it's roughly the same age as Hiccup and Astrid, which they learn earlier on when Hiccup is boasting about his sexual exploits.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's weird.
She's one of his close friends who is a sex friend.
Sex runs.
Yeah.
I don't remember this now.
Astrid gets super jealous because of this.
Mm-hmm.
And he asks her is there anything because Heather asks if he wants to join her upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Him upstairs.
Yeah.
And so asks her. She says
Yeah.
fine. He storms off.
Yeah.
And that's when Eret, son of Eret, shows up.
He's
Da,
here.
da, da, da.
Yay!
And he earlier in this as well. Apparently, he was the guy who first kissed Astrid. He was a sailor back on Burke
Yeah.
years ago.
Presumably he just
That
showed
was,
up one day. He's like, hey, I'm a Dragon Trapper. I can help you out, Mr. Stoic.
Mr. Stoic.
He
sir?
probably said Mr. Stoic.
And he questions why she's in this stingy tavern, and she mentions she's having relationship issues, and then talks to her more about it. She decides after having a couple of drinks, she decides, no, I don't want to share. He's mine. Storms upstairs, opens the door to Heather giving Hiccup.
No, it's Heather complaining that Hiccup can't get it up.
No, that happens after that.
So weird.
Wow.
Heather's doing the lewd. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Doing the
Oh, this is
lewd
embarrassing.
with Hiccup.
Next fanfiction we pick is not going to be as sexual.
Heather gets super upset because he says Ash's name after seeing her, they abruptly leave because Astrid says, "Oh, I saw someone downstairs who recognizes me. We gotta go."
Right.
Heather's probably really pissed right now.
Oh yeah, Heather's super pissed as Astrid's waiting.
And then after this, she's never seen again.
Not after this, she's never seen
Not
again.
in the story anymore. She's just there for that one scene, and then she's gone.
She's there for that one scene, then she's gone.
For drama.
For drama. Hiccup has a go.
Eric does show up later though.
He does.
He doesn't do much, but he shows up.
He has a go at He has a go at Hiccup. No, sorry. Hiccup has a go at Astrid.
Yeah.
For
Because she cock blocked him.
yeah, she's like he's like, what the hell? I thought nothing was happening. You're so confusing. And then she mentions there is something between them.
Mm.
And he questions why are you doing this then? And she pretty much says, relationships and feelings are confusing.
True words have never been spoken.
True words have never been spoken. He asks her like, what do you want then? What do you want? What do you want to leave? Do you want to
What do
tell
you
me?
want from me?
And then she looks at him and says, you. And that's the end of chapter 11.
And then the next chapter is this them having sex, right?
No, that's later on.
Okay.
Didn't
Didn't read that part either. I skipped
It's a
that
lot-
entire chapter.
Chapter 12 is still super lewd because there's a lot of foreplay and a lot of...
Weird.
Yeah. A lot of kissing.
Like, you know
and a
how
lot of-
it's uncomfortable when you're in public and then you look over and then you see two people flirting and you're like, this seems a bit like a personal moment. Maybe I should just look away or leave.
She decides to stay with him.
Mm-hmm.
Boring on chapter 12.
Yep.
And that's... then they do more lewd stuff.
Just doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
I don't remember the story being this lewd. Maybe it's because I skipped all that part.
You skipped all that part. It's really lewd.
Because, like, whenever a lewd part comes into fanfiction, it's like, oh, here we go again, and then I just skip it.
Oh, here we go again, being
Because when you've
lewd.
been reading
Yeah.
fanfiction as long as me, you're like, I've seen this a million times
I've
before.
seen this a
Words
million-
don't excite me. I'm sorry.
Words don't excite me. She discusses with the Hiccup that she'll help during the raids by either stealing shit, helping free dragons,
Which is probably a bad idea
probably.
in hindsight.
And she says she wants her own dragon, which ends up being Stormfly. She wants Storm.
Because it's destiny.
It's
It's
destiny.
always going to be Stormfly.
Yeah. She teases him about dick size because of the getting it up thing.
Yeah.
Then they decide on betting.
Also, Will, you don't know this, but this is the second most popular fanfiction about how to turn your dragon on the site.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
really
Oh,
good,
shit.
It's really
but
popular.
it's really
Yeah.
dark.
It's really
Okay.
dark and M-rated for a reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then they get super drunk.
They do get drunk.
They get super drunk this night because it's Christmas. It was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
When all that romance shit happened.
Yeah.
And they decided to get super drunk, and Astrid confesses a shit ton of stuff to him, like how he has a great ass, and that she liked him as a kid.
Just. Yep.
Hiccup refuses to do anything to her, even though she's coming on to him because she's drunk. He's like,
Mhm.
no, you'll regret it. Then she throws up.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's like, I'm glad I did this now, because I would have regretted it.
Yeah. And then last I remember of that chapter is bath bucket that says Astrid's bath bucket. Because she just kept throwing up apparently
Yeah.
after that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was... There's nothing much happened in that one except they got drunk.
This thing's 40 chapters long.
It is 43 chapters long.
It's longer than the first Harry Potter book.
Wow.
What else? Oh, then the chapter ends on, what's his name? Arvid. Astrid's dad.
That's not his real name.
That's not his real name.
He doesn't have a name.
He doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
But in the story, his name is Arvid. And it's basically him being super depressed about the
Because
fact
his
that
daughter's presumed dead.
his daughter's either presumed dead or worse.
And he just let it happen.
And he did it because he thought it was for the good of the tribe, and he was given money and cattle for her,
Right.
which was fucked.
It was a bride payment, which is what you used to do back in the day.
Yeah. A little terrible terror, the little tiny flying dragons.
Yeah.
Hiccup uses as messengers, and Astrid uses one of them to send Brenna a knitted thing for her dolly, and that's the end of chapter 12.
It was like a stormfly.
Yeah, it's no, that's later.
Oh, that's later?
That's later when she actually sees her in person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's done.
Over 46 minutes in. I think that's about done.
Yeah, I reckon that's enough for.
Well, we ended on the last chapter was the funniest chapter of all. It's like all just kind of plot things from here on out.
Yeah.
There's some more funny stuff, but
There's some more funny stuff, but
if
it's
you
all...
want to know that stuff, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to read it yourself.
Read it yourself.
Because I don't have the time.
Yeah, and if you guys hear me rambling more about chapters I haven't written about, it's gonna get worse.
Like we'll just spend like the next. We'll be here forever.
We'll be here forever.
We'll have shit to do.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
Yeah.
alright. Thank you all for listening.
No, wait. We're gonna have Will spin. Will, what did you think?
Well, yeah, what?
It was.
It's fine, we don't care
It was
about
a
it.
very fucking intense.
It's intense, isn't it?
Fucking script. Jesus.
You don't expect that from a fanfiction based off a children's movie.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
go all out.
Some get very, very dark. Some get very rapey. Some get very just edgy.
Yeah.
Some get weird. Just straight up weird.
Granted, Peter only knows this because I told him.
Yeah. I only know about this story because of Brodie here.
Right.
I'll talk about a bunch of bullshit on this show.
We talk about a bunch of bullshit on the show.
And there's a lot worse stuff than that.
There is.
Because at least the rape thing didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's what happens when the fans can write anything they want.
Yeah.
They
You
go.
You can get some cool things, and then you get a lot of weird things.
Or dark things.
And then you get dark things, which
Yeah.
is my least favourite. Well, I guess we're done.
Oh.
Do you want to say goodbye, Peter?
Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next episode, whenever that is.
Whenever that is.
Whenever that is. It'll be back to what we usually do with Brodie commentating and me listening on dumbfounded.
I'm trying to think of what the next episode might be. It doesn't matter.
They'll
I'll
prob-
come up with something.
I'll do another one of these at some point in the future.
Probably 5 episodes from now.
Probably 5 episodes from now. And
I'm going to send them another fanfiction to read.
Yeah. I'm slowly growing through the fan fictions.
Well, that's what I'm here for. To grind out the shit.
The great.
Like the real bad shit. And then we read that.
And then we read that. We read the real bad or read the good.
I think I might have discovered... Oh god, what was that fanfiction again? It doesn't matter. I found like the Mayan Mortal of some other franchise. Because... Oh, it was the Simpsons fanfiction!
Oh my god.
Because that's what I was like, I'm going to read some trash. So you go to the fanfiction.net, you go to the Simpsons.
Are you telling me that we're going to have an episode about The Simpsons?
Hey, I would love to have an episode where I just do Simpsons quote the entire episode.
Yeah.
Like, who wouldn't want to do that? A Simpsons
Amazing.
podcast?
That wouldn't.
I mean, no one's... Oh, actually, no. There is a Simpsons podcast.
Huh.
Never knew that.
It's called Talking Simpsons.
Right.
Interesting.
But we shouldn't be advertised the enemy. An enemy podcast?
I'm happy to advertise anyone who wants
Enemy podcast, though.
podcast.
Rival podcast?
As long as they're enjoying what they're doing and we're enjoying what we're doing, what's the matter?
We're
Anyway,
not rivals.
rivals.
We're like the ant on their shoe.
We are.
Well, whatever. Goodbye, everybody.
Right.
See ya.